Hey everybody, welcome to Video Night. I'm your host Michael, and this week we'll be discussing the films of John Candy. And my guest this week, instead of Andrew, is Jacob, returning to the show.
Hey folks, how are y'all? How y'all doing? Everybody doing great? Fantastic, awesome. Let's get into this.
All right, so I thought about just doing a whole overview of John Candy movies, but I was thinking if this does well. I mean, next year is the 30th anniversary of Uncle Buck, and then we have like other Summer Rental. Delirious, Canadian Bacon, Wagons East, and obviously Uncle Buck. I think there's a couple others in there that we haven't discussed. And so this episode we'll be discussing Going Berserk, The Great Outdoors, Only the Lonely, and I wrote down, what was the fourth one we watched? Who's Harry Crumb?
Right. I will say, Great Outdoors was the one I was most familiar with. And of course, there's his classics like Uncle Buck and all that. I've seen him in Only the Lonely. What I did notice, like his nephew, was Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Whom he'd worked with before in Uncle Buck, and of course, Only the Lonely is a Chris Columbus movie. And
I chose these movies for different reasons. And we'll start at the beginning. Now, he had been on SCTV and built up a fan following, and he showed up in Stripes and National Lampoon's Vacation and started building a bit of a name for himself. Now, when you hear about Going Berserk, it's usually because it's in a 3-pack with The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck. And those movies are legitimately Universal Studios movies. They had a deal with John Hughes. John Hughes and John Candy were really intertwined for about 6 years there. And this is before all of that. True, he had been in National Lampoon's Vacation, which John Hughes wrote. But Going Berserk is a strange movie. It's not good, but I picked it for a particular reason because it's his first lead role in a studio release. He had done some small Canadian films before that, like Find the Lady and Loose Shoes. It's a Canadian purchase for Universal. I don't even know if it was really meant for an American audience, but you can feel the whole SCTV quality of this movie, and it shows up in a bunch of his films because he was really locked in with his friends from that TV show, and would appear in Armed and Dangerous with him and Eugene Levy. Paul Flaherty ended up directing Who's Harry Crumb. Martin Short's brother wrote Speed Zone, which is AKA Cannonball 3, which him and Eugene Levy show up again. And Once Upon a Crime, which is a big comedy with like tons of names in it. And that was, I believe, directed by Eugene Levy.
Right. And I would say this, in Going Berserk, like his friend is Joe Flaherty, who makes an appearance in Harry Crumb with him as well.
Oh, yeah, right. I totally forgot about that. Joe's the one who I think struggled the most. For some reason, he didn't break out like Rick Moranis and, directed, damn it, the one who died, Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people remember Harold Ramis was in the first season of SCTV.
Right, but Flaherty, he would definitely be a little supporting. He would always have a supporting part here and there. Freaks and Geeks, he was
right. Happy Gilmore.
He was the dad. Yeah. Oh God, Happy Gilmore.
I remember he had a show that was made in Canada, but packaged for I think the Family Channel called Maniac Mansion, which I think was based on a video game.
Maniac Mansion.
Yeah, I feel like it was on for like 4 seasons, but I just remember it being on all the time at my uncle's house because he was just a little bit older than me, and he would watch the oddball stuff on Nickelodeon and Family Channel, and I never really watched any of it except for you can't do that on television.
Oh wow.
He was always looking out for like the weird stuff, so he was into the stuff before I ever was that was off kilter.
I will say this. My gosh, Going Berserk. I thoroughly did enjoy it. It did kind of throw me off. I thought Pat Hingle, who's best known as playing Commissioner Gordon in the Tim Burton Batman films.
Yeah. I mean, for our generation, he was in a bunch of stuff before our generation. Like, I remember him from Maximum Overdrive as a sleazy gas station owner.
Oh, yes. But in Going Berserk, I thought Pat Hingle was going to be the villain, but no, he just turned out to be an asshole who happens to be his future, John Candy's future father-in-law.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson has a small appearance in it. Here's the weird thing about Going Berserk, is it feels a little bit like the Cheech and Chong movies where they're vignettes. There's an overlying arc, for the movie, but it's not one big story. It just seems to stop in these little bits and pieces and then continues. my favorite part, and why the reason I enjoyed this movie so much as a kid was the kung fu sequence, which was so insanely ridiculous. That John Candy would be like a ninja warrior who goes around with a little beanie with a little spinning propeller on top of it, and that was what his crew wore. It was all about, like, I guess he worked for a guy that made really, really shitty, low-budget Z-grade movies, which is Eugene Levy's character.
Yeah, and he's like this producer. He's just trying to, like, cram his business out there and trying to make money as much as possible. So he's also looking to his friends, for cheap reasons.
Yeah.
To help him with his movies.
So, yeah, it's not the best movie. It's just kind of one of those early on, just kind of curiosities. But he has fun. And just like Who's Harry Crumb, which is also very flawed, it lets him do a lot of the stuff that he would do on SCTV is just play random characters, like have just all sorts of fun with almost like a sketch-based movie.
Right. I'm trying to remember who else was. Oh gosh. Yeah, Allie Mills. I've seen her in plenty of other things. Oh yeah, that's right. She was the mom in Wonder Years.
Okay, the Wonder Years. I thought maybe it was the mom on. I thought the mom from Just the 10 of Us was on there. Who's the one that he's going to marry? Was that Allie Mills, or was that the sister?
Yeah, Allie Mills was the one Allie Mills was who he was going to marry.
Okay, I didn't think that was right. I'm gonna look this up real quick because I thought there was another cast member in there that went on to big things. Going Berserk.
Oh yeah, Kurtwood Smith was in there for a little bit too.
Oh nice, yeah. Oh, it's right. I forgot when he still had hair.
You know what I thought was funny about Ernie Hudson's little bit? He ended up dying and his friend thinks he's alive the whole time.
Oh right, that was ridiculous.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's where people got the idea for Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, almost. No, you're right, Allie Mills. She's from Wonder Years. I so thought of a different actress. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure who else I recognized, except maybe Richard Libertini.
Oh, right. And I didn't realize that I had never seen Barney Miller, so I didn't know he was from that. But I knew him from All of Me with Steve Martin, where he plays the guy who goes, bowl, bowl. I don't know. I just remember that being really funny. But in this one, he plays one of these crazy cult leaders. Kind of like the guy that was up here in Oregon who ran, I think, Sun Myung Moon or something like that. I can't remember. There was a cult leader that built an empire.
Yes. Yeah, and he hypnotized everybody through, like, music or, like, particular commands and this routine. And they tried to do that with John Candy in this movie. And it ended up backfiring at the end because he loves TV too much. But that whole segment of, like, trying to hypnotize him with that, Leave It to Beaver kind of show was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was weird. I can't even find a picture of the mom from Just the 10 of Us, but I could have swore that it was the same lady, but I'm obviously not right. Okay, so let's back to the thing. Okay, so Going Berserk, yeah, that's the one that's just a curiosity. It would be the next year is when he blew up with Splash, and then he had The Volunteers, which I've tried so hard to enjoy, and I just don't like it. It's noble, and it has a really big budget and a great cast. Tom Hanks, John Candy, Tim Thomerson, and so they go over to I think it's over like some Hawaiian island or something like that to do missionary work. Not good. I just can't get through it, dude. It's so boring.
Right. Yeah, no, honestly, I've never watched The Volunteers.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, some people like it. I just don't. Summer Rental is the one where I think that was the one that got him out there as a lead. It did well.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was on HBO nonstop. Armed and Dangerous was another one that was on HBO all the time that did okay in theaters. But it was 87 is when he blew up. Spaceballs was huge. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was huge.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think. What else came out in 87 for him?
Just those two. It was 88 when he did. 88 is when he did Hot to Trot, which he just did the voice of. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Elliot Gould was the first voice of the horse. And they thought they couldn't sell the movie with his voice, like on the poster. So let's go get a name. And they got John Candy. That's a fun movie. It's not good, but it's fun. Bobcat Goldthwait's only real studio lead role, even though a couple years later he would do Shakes the Clown, which is far superior, but that was a small independent movie.
Right. But after that, he ended up doing Hot to Trot. Oh, yeah, She's Having a Baby.
Well, he's in a
He did have a little.
cameo. He's only in a cameo. So
Yeah,
while they
he's
were
in cameo.
shooting The Great Outdoors, Chris Young, I think Dan Aykroyd and John Candy just did a bit where they just come on and they say, what should the baby's name be? And they just say a name. That's it. He's only on the screen for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, that I thought was pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty fun of them. It's like, hey, do you guys just want to help us out real quick with this thing? All right, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But it's like they didn't get credited.
Great
However,
Outdoors.
Great Outdoors.
Oh my God, that is the classic. I mean, that is one. I think everybody has seen The Great Outdoors. It did okay at the time, but this is one of those things that just blew up on video, and it was on HBO nonstop. And to this day, I mean, I carry it in my store, and it's just the one John Candy movie that just is a perpetual summer sell because I think everybody can associate with it. I mean, everybody has that uncle that's a complete tool. The strange cousins, being in a weird place for just like a week or two where you're not really a resident, but you're longer than just a weekender.
Right, yes. I mean, and of course, the whole camping getaway, small town kind of experience is definitely needed for like a getaway, being out on the lake. I mean, me personally, I just love those kind of settings. And the things you see in this movie, like how they're all like John Candy's like trying to spend some quality time with his family, trying to have everybody connect. Of course, like his sons end up being a little bit more game instead of like stereotypically resilient to the whole idea because they want to be back doing their routine and all that. But I mean, his oldest son, the older teenager, the high schooler, ends up falling for kind of like a small town girl.
Oh my God, I had such a horrible crush on her, Lucy Deakins. Oh my God.
I mean, who couldn't? I mean, she was lovely, and I mean, honestly, that was a whole cutesy kind of moment. It did give his son, character.
Well, it also gave a lot of depth to their relationship, and they're clearly upfront with, look, you're only here for a short period of time. I'm not some floozy that you can sleep with, over the summer and then throw away and tell all your friends about me. So John Hughes really put a lot of thought into those characters.
Yeah, I know. And it was really nice. And, he definitely felt guilt for, like, leaving her there because, freaking Dan Aykroyd had to be the tool and tell him to eat, like, have John Candy, challenge that, giant tomahawk steak.
Oh, God. Oh, you got to eat the grizzle, too. Oh, God, no.
All the fat and the grizzle. Oh man.
That's so disgusting.
I know.
Other memorable parts in that, the part where he's such a jerk that he's just like, hot dogs, lips and assholes, let's throw in the lobster. And I think it was, $20 a pound or something insane. He's just showing off, but you don't realize until later in the movie that he's completely flat busted and he's there to ask for money for a loan. And it's weird. I guess it's his defense mechanisms that he couldn't admit that he was in trouble financially, so therefore he makes up this whole situation of just him being like highfalutin, pain in the ass. Which is an interesting take on the character. I think Dan Aykroyd's more interesting when he's kind of a dick. When he's the straight-up lead, it doesn't usually work. I love watching him as a support or a co-star.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I think his best work is in supporting cast. And, yeah, as he was mentioning that whole loan and that, business proposition, he just couldn't go through with it. His wife, Annette Bening, love her, she straight up, made him realize something, and he was immediately just started feeling guilt right then and there.
Yeah.
But still, in the end, it all kind of works out. But the whole, the story with the bear.
Oh, legendary.
His grandfather. I love how he just scares the shit out of his family, and his family's just completely out of it, completely thrown off. Not like, oh, great story, this and that. It's like, great, I'm not having it.
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do that to us? That's just a story. I didn't know that it was gonna.
It's like, come on, we're all having fun here.
Of course, that pays off in the end. But there's another bear sequence before that when he puts the candy on the. I didn't know bears could eat candy bars or be even interested in candy bars, especially if they're still in the wrapper. He throws it on his windshield, thinking it's like, yeah, let's get a better look at the bears. And he's like, oh no, now the bear's just going to stay on my hood. I don't know what to do now. Let's turn on the windshield wipers. Just driving down the road with a bear on his car.
For real, oh my god, the weight of bears too. It's like, God, those guys are just pure fucking muscle. They can tear you to shreds in a heartbeat. But anyway, yeah, no, that was another thing. He's just throwing all those ag nuts, and there's like 4 other bears on his car, and he's like, oh God, I don't know what to do. Shoot, get off. It's like, dude, that's not the kind of situation that happens in real life either.
I love the bar sequences with Robert Prosky as the bar owner or whatever. He's just like one of those great cantankerous coots. I loved him in Christine. But when there's that guy there for his 100th birthday and the kids are on his lap, he's like, I don't like those kids being on there. Can you get them off the? He said, they're not doing any harm. He's like, no, I just don't like them being on there. And they go to give him a kiss. Like, oh, don't do that. No, he passed away 2 hours ago. Oh my God, get him off. Wash your faces, wash your mouths. Oh my God.
I know. Oh no, or the jet ski bit where it's like he's like, wait, is that the signal to go? That's the signal to go.
You bastard! He's saying go faster. You bastard!
Oh no, but then at the end, like when they're trying to save, the twins, in the cave, Dan Aykroyd ends up saving them himself by climbing up the damn thing, and then, of course, lack of communication, John Candy ends up going down there and saving the fucking bear, the bald bear.
Doesn't he shoot the bear in the ass? Like it's bald on top and on the butt?
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. And even the raccoons mention it at the post credits.
Fucking love those. I love those raccoons. They're so funny.
Especially when they're like, it's like he put the garbage cans in the house. Do you think that's gonna stop us? When they got back, and the whole house was a mess.
My favorite line in the entire thing is when they talk to that guy about being hit by lightning. And by the way, Gary's dad from Weird Science. They're like, how many times have you been hit by lightning? He's like, six. Oh my God, you've been hit by lightning 6 times. 66 times. 66 times. Holy shit. Well, that'll make your hair look like a skunk.
Oh, man. Yeah. But then, of course, during the end credit sequence, like with the whole big dance-off.
Oh, my God, I love it. Land of a Thousand Dances. That's such a fun song.
It is such a fun song. And, that's definitely, that kind of song is like right up Dan Aykroyd's alley. Of course, personally with Blues Brothers. And,
oh, totally.
His friendship with John Belushi. Man, no, again, a great Outdoors is something I could watch again and again.
The next year is when he came back with Who's Harry Crumb, which at times feels like Fletch 3. Like it was a rejected Fletch script. But he saw and said, hey, it's shooting in Canada. I can be with my friends. My friend is directing this. Actually, I can't tell. Some of it looks like it's filmed in Canada, but some of it looks like it's filmed in Los Angeles. So I'm not sure about this. But also the fact that he gets to bring out the SCTV persona again, where he gets to play all sorts of crazy characters. I love the character that gives the massage with the gigantic beard, and it falls off on the crotch, and he's like, and he slaps it on. No, it was his chest hair that it was there, and he puts it on his face.
Oh god, yeah, he's supposed to be this like high profile, like freaking beautician.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was ridiculous. And then there's the part where he's installing the air conditioning. I was like,
oh that was great.
God.
So this one's packed with those, actors that were only around like at that time period. Jeffrey Jones, Tim Thomerson, Shawnee Smith from Summer School and the Blob, from Ghostbusters. Annie Potts. Who else is in this? I feel like there was a bunch of cameos.
Corbin.
Barry Corbin. Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff that was time period.
Valerie Bromfeld as the detective.
I don't know who that is. Let me look at the name.
She was in Nothing But Trouble.
Oh, was she? Okay, see, Nothing But Trouble is one that I've tried to wipe from my memory, and I know eventually you're going to force me to watch this so we can discuss this. I'm not going to be happy about it.
Well, I'm not going to force it to, but, I would recommend it.
Yeah, okay, so there is another actor in here that's very interesting. He always talked kind of goofy, like real slow. His name's Wesley Mann, and he is in a legendary episode of Night Court where they're in a hurry. Dan Fielding is in a hurry to get out because he's got a hot date, and they have to fit all these court cases in a very short period of time if he's going to make this date. So he rushes all the court cases. And he gets to the end, and the guy, Wesley Mann, he's playing a character called Turtle. And they don't understand why he's called Turtle. And basically, he's just like, hello, Judge. How are you? And watching as Dan loses his shit over it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh,
Trying to find a video of it. Maybe it's here. Let's see if I find it. I'm going to pause this because this is unnecessary to the episode.
Of course. Hold on, I'm looking them up right now.
A lot of it's visual, so it's kind of terrible that we would do this.
I think it's this demo reel on IMDb. Look that up.
What? I'm going to send you the link for this, but you guys got to look this up. It's called Night Court Come On Speedy, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in the show.
Oh, he was in Adventures in Wonderland?
I want to say he's also in one of the Back to the Futures. Hey, I think he is that guy. I think I know that guy. In the second one. You know when he goes back when Biff punches him in the face?
Oh, the CPR kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, and he was also the caterpillar in Adventures in Wonderland.
What is Adventures in Wonderland? Why don't I know what this is?
Oh, it was a live-action TV show, I think, of Alice in Wonderland, where they had the Mad Hatter. Even Gilbert Gottfried was in an episode.
Okay. By the way, none of this has anything to do with Who's Harry Crumb, and we slowed down the episode severely. I apologize.
My bad.
Yeah, so Who's Harry Crumb is one that's really flawed, I think, in its structure and its story, but there's so many fun gags and characters that John Candy plays, it's really hard to hate it.
Oh, God, even just his main character, like, with that little, like, Conan O'Brien, almost little, the curl.
Oh, yeah, the red quick hair,
yeah.
There's a scene, okay, and you're going to have to go back to it. Okay, so there is a sequence where there's something on a tree that falls down in his office. He's, like, sitting at a desk, and I think it's a fruit tree or something, and it falls down. And if you look to the right, you see a hand with a black glove come up and grab the item that fell off the tree and bring it down, and I cannot believe they left that in the movie.
I'll have to look into that.
It's crazy. I rewound. I was like, did I just see what I saw? And it's like, yeah, there's an extra or a PA, whatever, behind there on the desk, puts his hand up, grabs the orange, whatever it is that falls from the tree, and brings it back down. And nobody watched the dailies and said, oh, we got to do a second take and change the camera angle. Nope, not at all.
No, but the thing is, Harry Crumb definitely felt had some cartoonish elements for sure. In particular, when he's spying on Annie Potts and her lover, Thomas Thomerson, like in their little boat, and he slides down, goes to the window, and then he's on that ceiling fan in this like seafood restaurant. That
right, the kid, yeah.
And he's like holding on for dear life. I'm like, or just the fact about even at the beginning sequence when you see him with the Don King hair and the mustache, as he's like swinging back and forth on the, oh gosh, whatever it is, the little paint stand, that one that painters use.
Right, yeah.
They're on the lift, on the painting lift.
Mm-hmm. And it breaks apart and goes flying.
Flies right through a hotel after a guy's accusing his wife of cheating on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Harry Crumb, oh, it's for you.
This is during that heyday when Jeffrey Jones was getting a bunch of work, and it's really sad that he turns out to be kind of fucked up, and take away his career, rightfully so. I don't like seeing a good actor turn out to be a disgusting person.
I know. It's like, gosh, can that? Oh,
all right.
It's a shame. I really liked him too.
Yeah.
Especially after Beetlejuice.
So our fourth and final film that we're going to discuss in this episode is Only the Lonely, and I picked this one because I think it's his finest performance. It really locks down the sensitivity that he was so good at portraying. A lot of times he played obnoxious characters, but if you watch the end of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it completely changes your perception of that character. And Only the Lonely takes that sad part, and that's his role. He's a guy who is basically being smothered. And, still living at home with his mom, who, he's always worried about her, and she's always kind of controlling. And he finds himself in a relationship after years of being single with someone who's very shy and kind of the complete opposite
Yeah.
of his world. He's a cop. He's always in the field. She's secluded. She works in a morgue and she does the makeup on the deceased. So she doesn't have really any social skills. They're Irish. She's Italian, and apparently her mother has a huge problem with this. Her mother this is in 1991. If this was made now, his mother would seem like a full-on villain because she is racist.
Oh, for God, yeah, she did. I mean, she definitely. Again, is he from Sicily? Is she from Sicily? This and that, Sicilian. Oh God. And she really didn't like her like from the beginning.
Yeah, well, that part where he goes, yeah, you're always telling it like it is, Mom, but also you're hurting people.
Exactly. I mean, she just doesn't have any boundaries really, and she feels that she shouldn't. And then she starts putting guilt trips on him, like whenever he starts like standing up for himself. Like what the hell? But in the end, what I thought was really funny, how he's like imagining all these scenarios with his mom, like if he were to leave the house, and she'd get in trouble and get hurt. But in the end, he just like brushes this off and just goes, eh.
Well, doesn't he have the fantasy where she's on an airplane and terrorists take it over and she kicks all their asses?
Yeah, because his mom was one tough cookie.
Yeah.
And Ali Sheedy was the one who played the girlfriend. Yeah, she's an introvert, and I liked how they kind of pointed out like what it is for introverts. Like it's really not easy for them to be social or go out or anything.
No.
And Ali Sheedy did a great job at that. But then again, she had that experience with Breakfast Club. And
right.
Also, as far as it goes for Chris Columbus, him after working with John Candy on excuse me, sorry. After working with John Candy on Home Alone, having his appearance with Catherine O'Hara, he decided, he really did want to bring, as you mentioned earlier, his sensitivity, how he had like range as an actor, and he didn't have to be such an obnoxious goofball to be, for people to enjoy to watch. I mean,
the comedy is subtle in this one. The comedy is out of the situation. There's no setup gags. There's no big punchlines. There's no wiseassery. It just comes out of the situation. Like it's really natural.
Yeah, it's natural situational comedy, and it was, and I liked how it really developed onto the kind of relationship that they had. Him not wanting to leave his mom, not standing up to her, him being like put in the middle, even though his mom was completely the aggressive force.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
the entire time.
And I understand where Ali Sheedy's character is coming from when she's just like, look, at some point you're going to have to choose her or me. And then realizing that he's never going to make that choice, that he's just always going to stall, and that she has to make that choice.
Yeah, and he of course ends up going after her, which was great. It's always nice to see in like one of those like romantic comedies.
Yeah, but it also wasn't another one of those cliches. He didn't set up some huge scheme. It was just kind of like, because remember he balks at first when he sees her and he walks away. It doesn't say anything.
Just like in the bar,
she just looks at him as he's walking away or whatever, and then it's later. Also, we shouldn't forget that Jim Belushi's in this, and he's really great.
Oh yeah, it's a supporting especially when they're trying to lower that body out of the building that they had to come and take to the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, they just ended up using the emergency hose. I was like, what the fuck? And then he's like explaining his whole analogy on dating and everything, but still, I think overall, like Jim Belushi's presence was definitely necessary.
Well,
especially for his side of things, the whole
right, because he was always saying, it's great for you to be single. I'm married, I'm locked down, I'm bored or whatever, and he's just like, dude, it's not like I'm a dating machine. Have you seen me? I'm just, not like I'm getting dates like with ease.
Right. Yeah. No. Of course, I mean, not a lot of women, of course, go for a heavier man, but it's John Candy. Come on, he was a sweetheart.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a great romantic lead in this.
And exactly, and in the end, it worked out.
I wish they would do this more. I feel like there's a lot of movies with heavy people where, I don't want to say heavy people. I don't know what the right wording is. People of larger size. They don't get a lot of romantic roles, and I don't get why that's. I mean, because you look around in your real life, and heavier people are in relationships, sometimes more often than skinny people, and I feel like movies ignore that. Even the Melissa McCarthy movies, she doesn't seem to be in a relationship in any of those, like The Boss, Heat, What's the one where she's a thief? Mandy or something like that. Tammy.
Yeah, with Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
Oh,
none of
gosh.
these is she's in a relationship, and I think that's strange that they don't even bother to give her a romantic lead when it's like, she's been a lead in very successful movies for like 7 years now, and yet still nothing.
Or even Life of the Party.
I haven't seen
she
that
didn't
one.
end up. Okay, she wasn't in a relationship. She was married, but gets divorced, and then goes back to school with her daughter.
Oh, okay, that's interesting plot.
Yeah, no, it gets pretty good. It's
Good.
funny. I loved it.
I'm curious about Happy Land Murders. I'm sure she won't have a romantic role in that either, unless she fucks a puppet.
Mike and Molly, the show Mike and Molly, and it was canceled for bullshit reasons. Mike and Molly definitely delved into that.
Was it canceled for bullshit reasons, or was she just tired of doing the show?
No, it got canceled because she was losing weight.
Oh, no, what?
And she's like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's weird.
I know, it is. I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, is this... I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be a show for overweight people, but she can lose weight. Heck, Mike was losing a little weight during the show, too.
Yeah, that's weird. They didn't do that with... remember Roseanne did get canceled because John Goodman was losing weight? No. Or Roseanne lost weight and got plastic surgery? No.
No, it was just really stupid. They just thought it was like, wasn't right for their characters. So I'm like, well, fuck that. Like, these things can happen. Come on.
So I'm just thinking of some of the other John Candy movies. Like next year, of course, we can do Uncle Buck. Like I said, Delirious is one that's always around. Canadian Bacon. Wagons
Bacon.
East.
Yeah, Wagons East. Oh, yeah. Did we do Cool Runnings?
We have not done Cool Runnings. I'm curious about doing a whole Disney sports one like Mighty Ducks, The Big Green, Cool Runnings. I feel like there's another one they did, a sports movie. But let's see, he was in...
Rescuers Down Under. He was in that.
Really? Okay. A lot of stuff he was only in small parts, so I'm not going to really add that to it. Once Upon a Crime, I said Career Opportunities, he's only in a small role. Nothing But Trouble, I may bring myself to watch that. I guess we've got the other ones. Little Shop of Horrors. Well, we've discussed a lot of his movies, so I think, Brewster's Millions. Holy shit. Yeah, we gotta watch that. That's one of my favorite movies. I can't believe I forgot that. Some of these I've never heard of. The Last Polka, I've never heard of. Really Weird Tales. There's one here called The Rocket Boy, which is a TV movie where he played the Hawk. Masters of Menace, which he had a cameo in. Oh my god. Whatever this is. Oh, The Rocket Boy. He has a crazy red wig on, and it has Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas in it. It says, in this sci-fi comedy, a gentle video clerk has a secret double life as an intergalactic crime fighter who must stop an evil alien from stealing the hair off human heads. I must see this movie. Holy shit.
I think that's the whole premise. Okay, if it's John Candy, I have to see it. I'll have to see it now.
Oh my god, The Rocket Boy. Yeah, I gotta find this. It looks like it's some pretty good effects. It's a Canadian TV show. Rocket Boy! I'm going to see if I can look around and find this one. Okay, so we're stalling here again. We do this. We meander on, but we're trying to make the episodes a little bit tighter this time around. So that is it for us here. Check us out on Patreon if you want to support our show under Retro Rock Entertainment. That's the banner for all our podcasts. Also on Facebook, you'll find us under Retro Rock Entertainment. And everybody, be excellent to each other. And Jacob, send us out.
I will, but I want to say one more thing.
What?
Regarding Only the Lonely, that's definitely... this is the first time I've watched it when you sent it to me, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And the only time I have heard of it before was this little special on Christopher Columbus in his directing career, and showing that he has what it takes and all that, this and that. But yeah, I would love to see more movies like that. All right, okay, now I'm done.
Alrighty, everybody.
Good luck, you guys.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Say it again.
Namaste and good luck, my friend.